Last week's performance, did you get the response that you hoped for?
Well, I think that was pretty evident from our guys at the start, and again, it was driven by the players. I mean, the players were disappointed how they played last week in the various phases of the game, primarily around the contest and the defensive side of things. And I thought they, to their credit, they brought a significant improvement in that space, and the results sort of reflected it.
Don, what did you think you've ticked off more than anything after last week?
I think it was important after last week to respond, and that's generally what better teams do. Is they don't dwell, they don't look internal. They just actually go, it's time to respond. And as I said, I'm really proud of the players tonight in terms of the response and the effort they brought. And the effort was there all night. Even I think a minute to go, you got Rory Laird smothering a ball. And that's the level of intensity we've got to play it consistently.
The numbers for Rory Sloane, the tactics now being used against him. It's a bit of a double question here. How do you work him through it, and how does he work through being tagged now if everyone's going to go to him like that?
Yeah, and that's going to be a challenge for Rory and for the team. And I think tonight it was, and Rory statistically didn't have a big game, but I still thought he had impact on the game because of the role he played for us, and he was able to do some things around stoppage and in general play which helped the side. So he's very aware of that sometimes it's going to work out his way and other times it won't. But again, I always talk about an even contribution, and he contributed in a number of other areas which are important for the team and help us get the result. But we've spoken to Rory about different options we have with him and where we could place him. We considered and did a couple of those tonight. But that's the nature of the game. Sometimes it becomes a one-on-one game and a one-on-one battle.
Is there anything more that his teammates can do for him?
Well, it's kind of hard. I mean, it's one of those things whereby we want to have a presence against whoever's on and running with Rory, but it's also not all about Rory. And that was a really pleasing part tonight. I thought, Rory, whilst he didn't influence the game significantly, as I said, statistically, the other guys stepped up. And that makes his job a lot easier. Let's not kid ourselves. If the contribution from our midfield group and our half forwards and our wings is really strong, that's going to help Rory significantly.
There were times then I think Hugh Greenwood actually applied some physical pressure on Kobe Stevens there a couple of times, and Hugh obviously, I think he had 16 contested possessions, so he had a pretty big impact himself. Yeah,
and that's right. I mean, you need a presence on the ground. This is a competitive game, and it was pleasing to see tonight that we were prepared to stand up. It's not all about pushing and shoving because that'll only get you so far. The reality is the majority of your energy needs to be committed to the contest and winning your share when it's your turn to go, whether it be on the air or the ground, and that hasn't changed and won't change. But the ability to actually stand and be counted is important because it sends a message to the opponent that you're not going to be pushed around. You
said that you responded well, but are there areas where you'd like to see the players improve a lot?
Well, it's probably hard to say right now in the cold, 20 minutes after the game. We reached the halfway part of the season with 9 wins in a good position, and we're still striving to get better. We don't sit here completely content and satisfied. We sit here saying, OK, the response tonight was fantastic. We're able to achieve a really good result. And we go into the break and the bye, looking at our body of work, saying there's enough there to suggest that when we can come and play to that standard, we're going to be a strong side. And we've got to take confidence from that.
Do you think the bye's come at a good time for you?
Oh, it's hard to say. I mean, I think it's one of those things. The bye comes when it does. We've obviously played 12 games. I think every side sort of looks forward to the bye, just give them a bit of a break, allow the players a bit of a mental and physical recovery, allow the coaches a bit of mental and physical recovery as well, so that we can, set sail for the remaining part of the season.
How special was it to see John O'Beach kick his first goal in league footy on his debut tonight?
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was probably great to see Charlie Cameron's tackle on him afterwards. I don't know if that one counted on the stat sheet, but it was a great night for Jono and his family. We had his dad in before the start of the game to present his jumper, and emotional moment. I mean, Jono's spent a long time striving for this moment, and it was great to see him get the opportunity. And again, he committed himself really well to the contest. Some of his tackling and other pressure was a high level, so it was great for Jono.
Don, just to go back to Rory, what's his mood like when he goes through a game like that? Is it wearing him down, or do you see that he actually enjoys that challenge?
He enjoys the challenge. He's a competitor. He loves it. So I was talking to him at the breaks, and we spoke at half time and talk about his role and how that impacts what he's doing and the team and so forth. He wants to compete.
He bobbed down in the back pocket at one stage, is that right? He was on Mav Weller, I think, maybe third quarter, got sort of pushed down the back pocket, or was that just...
we moved him around a bit tonight.
Mitch McGovern, obviously if he plays well this weekend, is there a chance to resume?
Yeah, well, it's great. We've got Mitch coming back. We've got Paul Seaman coming back for his first game tomorrow. Obviously, Cole Cheney's been back for a few weeks, so we're starting to get a few guys back, and we're getting some guys. Tom Duday was an emergency this week, so we're starting to see, get some guys back, and it'll be interesting to see how Mitch goes. He's been out for 8 weeks now, so hopefully he gets through not only the game injury free, but he performs really well and gives us that option at selection.
Don, I mean 9-3, but you're tracking as good as you wanted apart from the win-loss record. If you had that offer to you, you would have taken it before the start of the season.
Yeah, well, look, as I keep saying, it's a really even year, so winning games isn't easy. We play St Kilda, who a month ago knocked off GWS on a Friday night, and they're a very capable side. So, as much as the result at the end goes, well, that was the scoreboard reflects that, we had to work really hard for the win, as we do for every win. So at the halfway point, we sit and say, okay, that's what we've been able to achieve, but wins are golden, and it was a good opportunity to rank another one up tonight.
Overall, are you playing better than you thought you would have, or where you wanted to?
It's hard. I don't really sit and assess. It's probably for you guys to form an opinion as to the start of the season, where you saw us and where you now see us, and project and all those sorts of things. That's really your job. For us, we understand where we started, where we wanted to get better, and we strive to keep getting better. And that won't change for the last half of the year, because I'll guarantee you, if we stand still and we rest on laurels, others will come to us and go past us very quickly, and this competition will not allow you to take the foot off the accelerator. And you're going to have your good weeks and you're going to have your bad weeks, like we had last week, but through it all, we've got to keep trying to get better, and we keep training ourselves and keep making sure that our program reflects and educates our guys to continue to improve, and that's what we want to do.
So what are the key challenges in the 10 weeks when you come back from the break?
Haven't really thought about those just yet, to be honest. I'm going to enjoy 3 or 4 days off and just have a break.
Do you think there are still things that stand out? You've known from the first 12 weeks where you measure up and where you need to get to next. So, what will be the major body of work?
There's nothing right off the top of my head that I say this is a big issue. I think we'll continue to work in the areas we focused on. I think our contested work was strong again tonight. But some games we've lost, we've dropped away in that area. And again, your ability to execute the fundamentals in this game remain paramount. We keep working away on those.
Sorry, Jake Lever was outstanding again tonight. Is the club any closer to signing him to a new contract?
We've had some conversation with him, and again, it's not really here to talk about contracts. And Jake's keen to stay at the footy club, and we're really hopeful we can work through something with him pretty shortly. Or when I say shortly, I don't know how long that period will be, but certainly we're in conversation with him about it.
Same with McGovern too.
Yep, same.
And injuries, Jack Kelly came off in the last quarter with an eye problem.
Yeah, he's going to be fine. He just got a little poke in his eye. Obviously had that one earlier in the season, but just spoke to him then, and he said, the news is it's not a re-injury of that, so he'll be fine. He'll settle down in the next 48 hours, probably, he said. So.
All good, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Don.